Where's my money?
All right, give him his money.
Jesus Christ, he's tiny. I've had bigger chunks of corn in my crap. Wait a minute. Kinda looks like a baby. Come here, I'm gonna eat you. I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly. Come on. You're lucky, wee man. Ah.
Can I have a hug?
Dr. Evil, let me make you a deal, all right? You get the mojo, you keep your money, and I'll get your baby. All right. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, ribs.
Excuse me.
Chili, baby back, ribs.
All right, fight fans. So Frank Warren is really going crazy in the media, and and a bunch of other people are kind of going crazy on him too. That someone is Andy Ruiz Jr. He has been branded an elephant and a disgrace by BT Sports Frank Warren. So let's go ahead and chop this shit up. You know what it is. So Andy Ruiz Jr. has been labeled an elephant, a disgrace. And a disgrace by Frank Warren after his failed world heavyweight title defense against Anthony Joshua. After going down to a stunning defeat that shocked the boxing world against Ruiz in June, Joshua regained the WBA, WBO, and IBF titles with a comfortable points victory in Saudi Arabia on Saturday. Ruiz weighed in for the bout and at about 20 stone 3 pounds and conceded afterward he had paid the price for the 3 months of partying, acknowledging he was overweight and he should have been trained better.
Well, it's a good fight. But when he lost, I kind of felt like people were saying to me, oh, terrible matchmaking, like why'd you choose Andy Ruiz? And I'm thinking, well, we all chose Andy Ruiz because that's how it works, but maybe I made a bad decision.
Do you regret that now, considering what happened last
night?
night?
It's the greatest thing that ever happened.
Do you think?
It's all worked out. Yeah, mate. I mean, he's got, look at the story. If he would have, I said this to Josh last night, if he would have beaten it, if he would have boxed someone else, Trevor Bryan, no disrespect to these guys, right? And he takes him out in a round or 2 rounds, everyone moans, right? The pressure mounts even more for him to fight. Like,
what would this fight have been if he had fought one of them and beaten one of them? Pulev, yeah.
Yeah, which at the time, coming off whoever we boxed in New York, he would have got ridiculed for.
Yeah.
The money would have been much smaller, right? So he's ended up becoming a hero, an icon, a history maker. Making more money and winning his belts back and just being, it's just like it couldn't have worked out any better. But what I'm saying is Ruiz wasn't the wrong opponent at Madison Square Garden.
That's an absolute fact. And that's why you niggas be making me mad, bro. Y'all make me extra mad. Because the truth be told, before Andy Ruiz even stepped up and fought Anthony Joshua, before he put his bid in to fight Anthony Joshua, you guys talked about him, said he was setting back bodybuilding by freaking decades, all types of crap. So if Anthony Joshua would have just ran up on him, washed him, knocked him out in that 3rd round and he wouldn't have got back up, y'all would have said, oh, he was just a fat bum that didn't have no business being there in the first place. But then when Andy Ruiz loses, y'all put so much pressure on Andy Ruiz, try to blow his head up and make him believe that he's better than what he really is, and not just a guy who was just ready, game after your time, capitalize on an opportunity that Ortiz, that Dillian White, that Tyson Fury, that Deontay Wilder, none of those guys were willing to take. And he became champion over capitalizing on a mistake where Anthony Joshua just overshot his load and got clipped behind the ear. So, shit, y'all put all this pressure on Andy Ruiz like he really was going to go out and perform and beat Joshua. Man, Andy Ruiz didn't outbox him, man. He just capitalized on a mistake. And that's where y'all went wrong. So now everybody want to criticize him, call him elephant, call him fat. Truth be told, he was fat before that. So, now y'all want to just start abusing him, beating down on his character and stuff because he finally got a taste of some money and he got overwhelmed. He already said he was ready to commit suicide when he was on Top Rank before Al Heyman gave him a chance, and I've been preaching to you guys that he's mentally weak. So y'all gonna try to beat up on a more mentally weak person now that he took a L because y'all wanted the belts to go in a different direction for your own benefit. But I'll digress.
The main challenge last night was coming off the defeat. So if that was June 1, he would have done the same thing. So he was the right opponent, but everything happens for a reason, and obviously it unfolded. So I got a lot of stick from people in the industry going, "Oh, fucking you chose Andy, oh, you idiot!" Like, and you have to look at the politics of the PBC side and the Matchroom side, where if I'm PBC, they've ended up getting a free shot at the World Heavyweight title and winning it against all odds. Now all of a sudden they've got
all the belts,
4 belts in one hand and 1 belt in the other hand. As much as I say, it's not about Matchroom PBC, of course, like that's my life, that's my business, and there was a big power shift. Now he's gone and gotten back.
Alright, I'm gonna get to the point that I was absolutely trying to make, but you absolutely right. There would have been a power shift. You did not want PBC with all 4 of the belts, and they already overly inflated ego with Deontay Wilder. Them trying to just slide them in the hands of Deontay Wilder like a charity cash grab. Because that's absolutely what they would have did. They would have fucking spoon-fed him just like they did the rest of his career. But I continue. This is just some good shit.
And they would have been absolutely sick to their stomach last night, just like I was sick to my stomach on June 1.
Fuck you, Eddie! I know you! I see you on television! You're the fuck you man, right? I love it! Suck my dick, huh?
What did you make of Ruiz's comments about his camp?
I didn't like him because there are so many excuses we could have given you for June 1. Right?
And he come up with
he
nothing.
Never said one.
Yeah.
And he still won't say him now.
Yeah.
He said, I'll tell you after the fight.
Yeah.
But he won't. And there's nothing like panic attack, knocked out in sparring, total bollocks.
Alright, fight fans, and that's the point I was absolutely trying to get to, and that's what makes me absolutely and utterly mad, because Andy Ruiz made so many excuses when Anthony Joshua didn't make one, no matter what Joey DeWaco came out and said his truth was, no matter what was said about Ajit Kabayel, no matter what was said about panic attacks, no matter what AJ said he was going to tell Eddie after the fight, and he still didn't tell him. He gave Andy Ruiz all his credit, so Andy Ruiz kind of just gave Joshua backhanded credit, so PBC and all of their pundits can run with their narrative that, Anthony Joshua didn't beat him because of skill. Andy Ruiz beat him because he slacked off, and that wasn't the fact. Andy Ruiz was a mentally weak, fat ass from the jump, and it's okay for me to say it because, hey, I'm sitting in a different seat. But all you other professionals like Frank Warren and guys in position of power, it ain't no reason for y'all to say it because it has a narrative behind it. When I'm saying it, I'm coming from a position of genuine, genuine mental placement in the sense of like, yo, he fucked up, he fucked off, and in an underdog story, you supposed to do different than that. Come on, bro, you was a champ. And now you motherfucking Oliver McCall. You can't even be Buster Douglas, man. You 20 times worse than that. You straight Oliver McCall, bro.
And things where he weren't even there really on June 1. Like mentally, It wasn't about...
So what is there for him to reveal about June 1 then? He said that he was going to talk about... There must have been something...
There is one thing... it's kind of like... I'm going to let him talk about it, but it's more... It's not like a major thing where you go, shock revelation, but just different things in the build-up and maybe like a little bit of hell.
That situation in such a high-profile fight angered Frank Warren. Andy Ruiz Jr. brought a disgrace to himself in the sport by simply failing to prepare at any sort of required level on the website. Just because you are a heavyweight, it shouldn't mean you don't have to have an obligation to display a certain degree of athletic intention. Yes, he was heavy last time around, and he usually wobbles a bit around the middle, but this was ridiculous. When eyebrows were being raised at the weigh-in, he literally was when eyebrows were being raised at the weigh-in, he literally was the elephant in the room. Joshua must have wondered which chin he was supposed to aim for. It was a bit late after the event to come out and say you party too much and regret carrying so much weight. Warren explains that a typical fight where promoters and TV bosses were not hoping for a particular result, there would be an anger if a fighter turned up short of peak condition. He went on to add, spare thought for those punters who might have had a punt on the champion, who had every right to believe that he had put in the graft in having a full camp. Professional athletes have a responsibility to ensure a level playing field on behalf of those who pay for the privilege of watching. What we ended up with was a fella who basically scoffed himself of being world champion and the spectacle that suffered as a result.
No, sir!
The fault for this, lies firmly with Ruiz.
What the hell was that, you little freckle-faced cartoon? Did I give you permission to sneeze, Opie?
No, sir.
Then you hold it in, you big-eared turd, otherwise I'll kick your ass back to Mayberry. Oh, I see we have a sickly boy on our hands. Well, we're gonna have to boost your immune system, son. Drop down, give me 25 push-up now. Count 'em out.
1, sir.
Bleep, 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 bleep. What are you laughing at, pig boy? You find a piece of candy in your pocket?
No, sir.
What's your name, Tubby?
He's good, sir.
East Coast. You know, you remind me of the Doughboy. If I poke your stomach, will it make you go, ooh? You know what? I'm gonna help you make room for lunch, bacon boy. Drop down, give me 30 sit-ups right now. Let's go. Count 'em out. Let me see that belly roll. 1, Tubby.
1, sir.
Come on, pork chop. 2, Chubby.
Sir.
You's a pure genius.
3, sir.
Who you, Red Fox? No, better yet, you Richard Pryor, ain't you?
What's your name, girlfriend?
Dwight Williams, but boys call me Dick, so you call me Dick.
D, huh?
Yeah, brother?
You like the way I handle these white boys, D.
Oh, yeah.
You think you feel good to see a black man run thing, huh?
Malcolm X.
Well, let me tell you something, D.
Yeah, brother?
Why don't you come close? I am not your damn brother! Walk off now! What are you looking at, ass?
Nothing, sir.
You plotting on me, boy?
No, sir.
Well, let me tell you something, ass. Let me tell you all something. War has made me very paranoid. And when a man gets the eyeball at me, it makes my Agent Orange act up. And I get the urge to kill. Do you understand me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Do you all understand me?
Sir, yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Sir, yes, sir.
And what is your damaged muscle head? You stupid? You ignorant, or you just plain old deaf?
Yes, sir. Actually, he is deaf.
Oh, well, thank you. Now drop down, give me 25 more for speaking out of line.
1, sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Handicapped Man. I didn't mean to offend you. Do you speak sign language? Can you read lips? Let me break it down. If you don't answer me when I speak to you, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass. Is that clear, dummy?
3 under.
Now, you see, fight fans, now, I don't get caught up in too much of the bullshit. And you know how we do on this two-hand show. We like to break things down in layers, man. We like to break it down like a game of Jenga, you know what I mean? Take away all of these unnecessary pieces, man, and let's just get to the thick of what's, pretty much holding this conversation together like so. So, we know where Frank Warren's animosity is coming from. Well, on the surface, he tries to believe that it's about the fans, that the spectacle wasn't great for the fans. No, the spectacle was magnificent for the fans. The spectacle just wasn't good enough for you. And the reason why I'm saying it wasn't good enough for you, Mr. Warren, is because we already know that you're in cahoots with Tyson Fury, and you're also in bed with him and Bob Arum. You know, that BT Sports kind of ESPN thing kind of bridged the gap after, Tyson Fury did what we all pretty much assumed he would do, going up against somebody as such an easy touch as Deontay Wilder and revitalizing jeopardizing his career, getting $100 million, and you guys trying to make good push in the heavyweight division. And you know, Frank, you know, I quite simply can't be mad at that, but you just thought that, you know, everybody would be basic when it came to this whole situation, because, you know, it just doesn't make any basic sense that you would be blowing this much unnecessary, complex, hot air. You know what I mean? Why would you be blowing so much hot air? Why would you be talking so derogatory? Why would you be going out of your way to chastise an individual that already did the impossible when you bet against him? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. I mean, that Kubrat Pulev mandatory was an IBF mandatory, and we do know that both of those mandatories were coming up first, whether it be the WBO or the IBF. But we both know that both of those, you know, organizations are going to come for their mandatories, especially the IBF. And with Kubrat Pulev being on a #1 ranked mandatory in the IBF, you know they're going to call for it, or they're either going to strip you. So you were hoping for Anthony Joshua losing and Andy Ruiz doing one or two things, either being stripped, either letting go of the IBF or fighting for the IBF, because you knew he wouldn't want to go up against Alexander Usyk. So in my opinion, that was your plan, and that's why you frustrated. But in the words of the diabolical Joker himself, why so serious? I mean, literally, like, why so serious? You know, why come at him in such a derogatory way, man? You already know he's riding the low, you know what I mean? He had the whole, you know, country of Mexico on his back and everything, so the humiliation already weighs heavy. So for you to go out of your way to make a whole front page article to chastise this individual, man, it shows your true colors. And I mean, you looking real childish out here, considering you probably old enough to be my grandfather 2 times over. But you know what I mean? That's all I got for you guys today, man. As we always say, man, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Looks like the heavyweight champion of the world and the powerhouse that is the new streaming service, DAZN, got these niggas' panties in a bunch. This the boss. And as always, can I get a 2 times? Respect, though.